I'll get a whole bunch of questions at once, and then I'll see if I can bring them all together into something that makes sense. And that means I can also ignore some of the questions that are too hard. Okay, so who's out there? Who wants to know something? Who's struggling with meditation? Yes?
I want to know from your perspective, what is the most wrong, most cringe, stupid idea of meditation?
Okay, good. That's great. All right. Very good. This is good. I can get into that. Okay, great. Who else was there? We're going to take them all at once.
There's someone.
Hello.
Hi. I did like a 10-day Vipassana meditation in February, which
Mhm.
was great.
Mhm.
Then I managed to meditate for another week or two because I tried this like 1 hour thing in the morning, and I obviously failed in the long run. And so maybe you have some ideas or like tips on how to, obviously, consistency and how to integrate it in one's daily rhythm.
Love it. Great. Good. That's a good one. That's a consistent one as well, right? That we come out of it. It's like going to the gym for 8 hours a day for 10 days. And then after that, you just want to sit at home and eat pizza, right? Cool. All right.
I'm curious about your story a bit more because you were introduced as like having teaching meditation since you were 20. I'm curious, how does one decide this?
Mm.
How did you come to this mission? I'm very curious. So how did you come to that?
Wonderful.
realization? What's your backstory?
Great. That's so nice. It's about me. That's kind of nice, right?
I also have questions about meditation, but I'm very curious.
Okay. All right. All right. Cool.
And knowing myself, I know that I won't ever get into a routine of sitting down for 5 minutes in the morning. But maybe you have some practices of using 10 seconds in the middle of the day, or maybe a minute in the afternoon, something that is easy to introduce into daily life.
Love it. Great. All right. That's a good one as well.
I think for many people, we travel a lot, or we are in different places. Maybe that's also true for you. How do you stick to your routine, maybe, if you're not in your usual setting?
Yeah. Great. Okay. I love this.
I struggle with it a lot.
Yeah.
That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, and a lot of my clients do, right? Like I said, I don't teach a large amount of people a little bit. I teach a small amount of people a lot, right? And so I work a lot individually with people, getting it into their lives. Good. All right. I think that's all right. One more.
I would like to hear, how does it feel for you to be in a state of meditation, and what are your most, I don't know, let's say, moving moments? Can be tough or beautiful or whatever.
Wow. Hey, that's a good one. I didn't plant that one. She came up with it herself. Okay, good. Yeah. I think it was just like, what was the most moving moments in the meditation? Yes. Yeah, great. All right. And anybody else, if I forget yours or something like that, bring it up. But I'll see if I can weave all this together. So what was happening to me? I was a chef, right, in kitchens where chefs threw knives at me and threatened to stab me and all sorts of stuff. It was mental. And so I left that and became a bartender. And then the owner of the building said, you should learn meditation. I said, no. They said, you should learn meditation. I said, no. They said, you should learn, I'll pay for you and you can take the day off. And I said, okay, sure, I'll do it, right? But I was like, I'm not some hippie, right? I didn't have the beard then, yeah? But then I learned, and I'll tell you what, right? This is bringing it together. I walked out of there, it was this tiny little house with this woman called Kay Dyson, who's absolutely beautiful, right? She died some time ago, but she just taught me in her living room, and then I learned the meditation. Why am I here with this old lady who's kind of doing all these mantras and stuff like that? And I left her house, and I remember I had an apple with me, and it was beautiful golden Australian sunshine, right? And I walked out and I ate the apple, and it was the first time I've ever seen grass and an apple. And I was like, this is something else. And until that time, I thought I could think my way to happiness. But then I looked at all the people who tried thinking their way to happiness, and they seemed particularly depressed. And so then I thought, maybe it's hardware, not software. And so at that point, I kind of said, okay, well, maybe I'll do the hardware thing. And so then I was about 20 at that time. And so, basically off I went and did my training. I did that for 4 months after 2 years of one-on-one, but then for that, 4 months of 14 hours a day meditation. That was insane. I remember the experiences from that. I mean, when you're meditating 14 hours a day, you don't sleep, really. You sleep 2 hours. The experiences I had there was just the things that happen to your body when you meditate that much is out of control. And so I think one of the best things, and this is what is the best to remember, and this might answer a question before, I think that, you know, I was sitting there once and I was just like, let go, 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 let go. And I was really like, let go. And then this little voice just said, let go of letting go. And then like that just absolutely shifted my perspective, right? I was like, at that moment, the whole world lit up again, just like that day I ate the apple, except with a few more lights, right? And I think one of the cringiest things that can happen is when people are like, let go, and they spend their whole lives trying to let go, which is also a little bit of an irony. And so with the way that I teach these days, I help people let go of letting go. That's the first thing that I teach them. It's good hygiene, right? Like attachment is like a boogie, right? Like that's what Australians call them. Like, what do they call it German? Like a snot ball or something? Also, ein Nasengeschenk? Ich weiß es nicht, right? And so, attachment, yeah. And so it sticks to one finger, right? Attachment's like that, and it sticks to one finger, and then you try and take it off and let go, and then it sticks to the other finger, right? And then you try and let go, and it sticks to the other finger. And so, you know, I work with a lot of people like good mental hygiene with that, let go of letting go, because most people are trying to let go so hard. And I think that's number one in the meditation, right? If you are meditating and if you're dealing with all of this acceptance and surrender stuff, my number one thing is don't take it so seriously, right? You're only meditating. What happens is that people try to let go in the meditation. Let go of letting go. And so number one tip I have for everybody is reset. Whenever you feel like it's frustrating, overwhelming, annoying, confusing, just drop the whole thing. Drop it and just sit there with your eyes closed. And then eventually you realize, oh, I'm meditating, and then come back to your practice. Give up as often as possible. Reset. You're only meditating, right? It's not a big deal. So let go of letting go, right? So reset as often as possible in the meditation if you're uncomfortable, frustrated, annoyed, right? Easy, until you forget, oh, I'm meditating, come back to your practice. Okay, how do we have like little practices, right? First thing I will say is that, yeah, you know, meditation's difficult like that. One of the number one things is a lot of my clients, they're like, hey, I don't have time for meditation. And I'm like, how long did you sleep? And generally they'll say 4 or 5 hours, most of my clients, but some will say 10, right? Or 8 or whatever, yeah? Now, I asked them, why did you do that? And they said, well, because without sleep, the time outside of sleep is worse. And so I invest 8 hours in the rest of the day being better. And then I say, well, the same with meditation, right? You invest 20 minutes twice a day, and you find that your life outside of the meditation is better, right? And so it's just an investment, just like sleep is, right? And so that kind of helps people understand the meditation. Another thing is, I find that meditation is very easy to do, but hard to understand. And if you don't understand something, you're not gonna do it. So imagine if you went to the gym and you didn't know how exercise worked, and you're getting hot and you're like, and it's sweaty and it's uncomfortable. You're like, I'm in pain here. And you didn't know what that meant, you would never go to the gym again. And that's what happens with meditation in today's culture. We just throw ourselves in meditation, but we don't understand it. When you understand that, in fact, that the meditation's uncomfortable, and that's a good thing, because that's how you train the brain, right? By doing what is uncomfortable. When you understand and enjoy the burn inside the meditation, then it completely changes your perspective on it. And you start to love it when it's uncomfortable. So that's another way of looking at it that helps. Outside of that, I will say that probably the best thing that you can do that is supported by the meditation for your everyday life, but if you want to do it without the meditation, fine, but if you do it with the meditation, it will be amazing, which is just paying attention to light. To light. So at any one time, we are ignoring so many of our senses. When for a moment you just look at reflection, how many reflections there are in the room right now, right? And the gradient, it's absolutely stunning. Look at a shadow. You can really never tell where the shadow ends and the light begins. There's so much gradient of light around you. Just looking at light alone can help connect and ground you in your everyday life, right? Light and shadow, watch the gradients just for a moment, and it will move you to a different place. It just shifts things a bit. And so that's one way of doing it. Okay, in relation to, like we've gone and we've done a big retreat, wonderful, great. These days, I'm always about consistency, but I always recommend people go do retreats as well. But I recommend twice a day, less. So my recommendation is twice a day, 5 minutes, twice a day, 10 minutes, twice a day, 20 minutes. I generally get people who meditate with me twice a day, 20 minutes. And so I find it's because the mind is a sprinter, not a marathon runner. So what that means is that you can kind of like learn a language better when you learn in 2 20-minute chunks, right? And so that's the same with the meditation. You can train the brain better in like 2 chunks instead of just all at once. So split it up. Twice a day, 10 minutes is 5 times better than once a day, 20 minutes. Twice a day, 20 minutes, I believe, is 5 times better than once a day, an hour, right? So split it. That's one way. Noise, right? Somebody was saying, okay, we're on the road, we're moving around and stuff like that. Jump on it. Mm-hmm.
Do you consider like one time a day, 10 minutes better than maybe not at all?
Absolutely. Always. No, it's good. It's good. Absolutely. That's the thing. People are like, no, he's got it. You know, they've got it, right? Absolutely. Every meditation, in Australia they have this saying, right, like that the government put out, every cigarette is doing you damage, right? And every meditation is doing you damage, right? And at least to your, okay, that's my own personal joke. I'll keep that one to myself. But yeah, right? Every meditation you do is good. For the rest of your life, every meditation that you do will benefit you. If you meditated once today, that will benefit you for the rest of your life. It's like riding a bike. What you learn from meditation stays with you. Every time you do it, great.
What's the minimum amount you would recommend when someone starts? Like 1 time a week, or is it too less? Would you recommend like 5 minutes a day?
Yeah, twice a day, 2 minutes, right? That's it. Or twice a day, 1 minute. Yeah, just that will be enough. The experience inside the meditation is unimportant. The experience inside the meditation is unimportant. It's like runner's high during exercise. Sometimes the meditation feels good, sometimes it feels like work, but it's always working, just like exercise, right? And so this experience inside the meditation, we are so obsessed with experiences, and we're like, oh, I need these experiences inside the meditation. If meditation was another place to seek an experience and then get disappointed that you didn't get it, how would it be any different from your everyday life? And so the experiences in meditation come and go, but the post-meditation experience, that kind of freshness that you get, that's what we get addicted to. That's what we hold on to. That's what we learn to love. So yeah, just roll in, do 1 minute, come out, 5 minutes later, ask yourself, am I glad I did that? The answer should always be yes. And that's it. That's what you're going to get addicted to. And that's going to create a stronger mind, just like going to the gym is going to create a stronger body. I feel like we kind of did a nice little blend there. Do we have more time?
We do. We have 10 minutes more.
2 minutes.
Now you have 10 more minutes.
10 more-ish. Okay, great. Okay, so that's what I want you to do. If you walk out of here, remember, twice a day, 5 minutes, 10 times better than once a day, 20 minutes. Also, reset. In the meditation, when you're just like, I can't be bothered, then just close your eyes and hang out. Once you realize, oh, come back. Very powerful. Noise. Noise is no problem in meditation, right? It's only a problem if you make it a problem. I've had clients who meditate in Berghain. I've had clients who meditate in Congolese prisons without their shoelaces because they took them away. Planes, trains, all over the place. Noise is only a problem if you make it a problem. I was teaching in London the other day, window open. Now, of course, whenever you meditate, everything is like attacking you to be noisy and stuff like that. That's just how life is, right? And you know that with your own meditation practice. Sit down and meditate, kids screaming, people running around, right? Anyway, so we're sitting there, window was open, And as soon as we started meditating, a marching band started. Brum, 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 brum. I knew if I went and closed that window, I would be telling everybody that they can be distracted. So I leave the window open, and at the end, people are like, I felt some quietness, some silence. And I'm like, what? And they're like, quietness, silence, right? And so actually, the noise is not an issue. If you weren't going to get lost in this noise, you probably would have been lost in thoughts. If you weren't going to be lost in thoughts, you're probably going to get lost in, am I doing this right? This is the two-factor theory. Whenever you feel uncomfortable in meditation, your mind is probably just grabbing at something. If it wasn't noise, it would be thoughts. If it wasn't thoughts, it would be noise, right? So noise is no issue. Meditate everywhere. You will find if you take on this approach that you're just like, I don't believe in distraction. You'll get lost, you'll come back, who cares, right? Distraction only exists if you believe in it. If it wasn't this, it would be that. Hello.